Thank you so much. Good evening to you and welcome to the program. Now, first tonight, from Crows champion to a champion for Parkinson's. When AFL star Mickan was diagnosed with the insidious disease, it was a battle he was determined to fight. And while there's no cure, incredibly, Mark's kicking a football again after having revolutionary new surgery. Tonight, from that operating table to running around with his young sons, we track his remarkable progress. Mark Soderstrom has our story.
Well, the kick from Mickan. Oh, beautiful goal.
On the footy field, Mark Mickan was a force to be reckoned with.
And a good mark. Well done, Mickan.
And off the oval, a champion in every respect.
I think he's a champion in his own rights. He's a champion person.
So much so, the Riverland-born ruckman was crowned the Crows' inaugural best and fairest.
It certainly gives me a great deal of pleasure to announce that Mark Mickan is that club champion.
So it hardly seemed fair when in 2016 the father of two was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
I was feeling very flat and low, and I thought, there might be something there that the doctor might be able to help me with, but being diagnosed with Parkinson's was the furthest thing from my mind. I just mentioned the tremor in my right hand as an afterthought, really.
When Mark first got diagnosed, I remember getting phone calls from celebrity footballers, radio hosts and things like that, saying to me, if we can do anything, just tell us.
80,000 Australians live with Parkinson's, and I think 37 or 40 people get diagnosed every day.
If Mark's footy career had taught him anything, it was to tackle the challenge head on.
I had a bit of experience with it because my dad had Parkinson's.
But also, like in footy, deep down, Mark knew he'd met his match.
Parkinson's is an incurable neurodegenerative disease, so quite significant. It doesn't get better, there's no cure, there are relatively no answers for people in terms of causation.
And it wasn't long before the disease took hold.
It is one of those things that really creeps up on you, and then before you know, it has completely taken control of your body.
It wasn't just my hand, it was my feet as well. It spread to my feet.
While initially it seemed the condition appeared to advance rapidly, the reality was it had been lurking for much longer.
I was diagnosed in about August 2016, but it's quite possible that I had the condition for maybe 10 or 15 years before that, in its infancy, when I'd lost my sense of smell.
Meaning that during his coaching years, including when he took his beloved Westies to the 2015 flag, that internally he was fighting a losing battle.
He's taken West Adelaide to premiership glory.
With a healthy lifestyle and medication no longer keeping the condition at bay, the 58-year-old was forced to look further afield for treatment.
What was, I think, affecting him the most was his not being able to participate in what he wanted to do with his kids. In his words, even simple things like just kicking the footy with his kids was just not possible.
Dr. Girish Nair is a world-renowned neurologist.
He's a great guy. He's one of those, I call him, a gentle giant. We all know about his achievements on the footy field, but beyond that, he is a guy I think one would sort of call an ideal patient.
If you have any questions, you know what we're doing.
Yeah, I know what we're doing.
And using cutting-edge technology, 6 weeks ago performed deep brain stimulation surgery on Mark.
On the right side.
It works by modulating the circuitry of the brain, which controls arm and leg movements. It is also referred to as sort of like a pacemaker of the brain.
While deep brain stimulation isn't a new method of treatment, it has recently evolved. And using 3D technology, Mark was fitted with an Abbott's Infinity DBS system, a device which was implanted directly into his brain.
So this is the 3D printed model that we use. Compared to the earlier technique where we put a big cumbersome frame secured on the head that looks more like a metal cage, this is fairly lightweight. The hardware that we have is very new in the sense that initially we started using these electrodes as part of an international trial, and the results of the trial have only recently been published, and it is sort of a game changer.
They going through the skull, they make some incisions in your head, and from there they place electrodes in your brain. And then they connect those up to a battery which is in my chest. There's an iPod from which they can change the settings and stimulate the brain.
He's now one of only 20 Aussies to have had the operation.
It is still very early days, and we are very encouraged by the response he has shown even within this short period of time.
6 weeks post-surgery and Mark is back down the park, kicking the footy with his 2 young boys, Fletcher and Spencer. Physically, he's still not fully recovered, and financially, the operation, which had the family relocate to Melbourne for 6 weeks, has cost them dearly.
It's been difficult because I haven't been able to work, and it does draw on the finances a little bit when you don't work and you've still got the same expenses, but that's where the AFL Players Association have been excellent.
But unbeknownst to Mark, or rubbers to his mates, the support hasn't stopped there. In fact, while he's been away, club rivalries have been put aside, with footy teams from all over SA coming together to lend a helping hand.
When all of Mark's, footy colleagues came to me and said, we really want to do something for Mark, I didn't know to what extent, they were talking about or that they would go to.
Yes, and what they've done is simply heartwarming. From former teammates to complete strangers, how South Aussies rallied to help the star ruckman. Also, how you can win tickets to this weekend's Dream Big Children's Arts Festival. Now, it's no secret that through his career, Mark Mickan touched many lives. As a footballer, he played for West Adelaide, Brisbane Bears and, of course, the Crows. But his career certainly didn't stop there, going on to coach a number of football clubs, even local schools. So when all the people he helped over the years heard about his plight, they wanted to return the favour.
Mark's been so good for me through my footy career, giving me opportunity, so this is the least I can do, really.
Anyone who comes across him just knows he's just a gentle giant and a lovely guy.
He's widely recognised as one of the best ruckmen that's played the game, but his attitude to life and his attitude to people around him has made him a very special person.
From former teammates...
Got the nickname Rubbers because his arms would reach up and come out of nowhere and take the ball.
To complete strangers.
I got a phone call from Roo. So I knew that was going to cost me right from the start.
When word travelled that one of their own needed a helping hand, club rivalries were put to one side.
I think it's a little bit, it is the footy community, whether it be local or whether it be SNFL or AFL too. Past players to the present that have come in and just giving of their time and product and resources. And again, we're very lucky that if someone is hurting in some way, shape or form, that we look after our own.
He's helped a lot of people, so it's nice for us to give something back to him in a small way.
And as soon as Mark made his way to Melbourne for brain surgery, it seems every man and his dog made their way to his West Adelaide home with just 6 weeks to pull off a surprise renovation.
People have come from everywhere to help out, so it's probably got a little bit bigger than what we anticipated.
First day he was gone, we're here, Bobcats in the front.
Leading the charge, Bernie Conlon, who was a teammate of Mark's at Westies in the 80s.
Well, Mickan just thumps the ball forward. Conlon took it off.
Bern, this has been the work of a lot of footy mates getting together, isn't it?
Yeah, not only footy mates, a lot of clubs too. And even the old bloke, Brian Fazy, came over to rip out the shower screens with me and put the irrigation in, top weight.
So, Brian's 94 years of age, and he played in which flag for Westies, was it? 1947. And 94, and he's digging trenches and working hard still. From new carpet to wardrobes, even blinds and paint. But the piece de resistance, the lawn out the front with grass from the same turf farm that supplies the magnificent Adelaide Oval. Well, less than 24 hours to go before Mark gets home, and the boys are all working around the clock to make sure they can get the place finished. Like John O'Beach here, of course, West Adelaide star, former Crow, and has been coached by Mark himself. John O, you were doing some wonderful work, mate. Tell us about Mark Mickan as a person.
Yeah, great bloke, and obviously he gets home tomorrow, so we're finishing off the lawn and the pavers.
But the question on everyone's mind, how will Rubbers react?
I think he'll be pretty surprised and pretty embarrassed knowing Mark.
Probably overwhelmed. Probably think that he's just a normal guy and he didn't deserve it, but he's a great fella and he's helped a lot of people out over his career, and this is a small token of our appreciation.
Sorry mate, someone stole your front yard.
Thanks very much. You're a star.
Good to see you.
Amazing.
Thank you. We'll be able to keep the footy out there.
The neighbours are a bit annoyed with us, have been here a bit early. And when I say all of us, there's a few people I'd like you to meet who helped us.
Oh.
Surprise!
Hopefully the garden was all left to die. And
small working bee.
Yeah, no, not likely small. Yeah.
Well, Rubber Man, there's a little bit more we've got to show you.
Is there?
And a few changes.
Okay.
We might start in the lounge room.
Oh, wow.
Oh, fantastic. What a job.
Barnsey supplied these great blinds. So Roey's done this room as well. Shower screens and wardrobes. You might be able to fit in that one now, Rubbers.
What, the wardrobe?
Now got a ducted split system unit outside, keeping you cosy and warm.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Wow.
That is unreal.
Thank you. And you, oh my gosh, that's...
Carpet, unreal.
Oh wow, so it's finally got a nice wardrobe.
Oh, I think this is unbelievable. I can't believe that so many people have got together and done this. I don't know what I've done to deserve this. We're only away for 6 weeks and I've done about 12 weeks work, I reckon. It's been overwhelming. Unbelievable, really. Well, when I saw the front lawn, I thought, wow, because it's never looked like that before. I probably don't get emotional that often, but I was probably as close to it as I could be because, you know, when people do that for you, it is overwhelming and it's unexpected and it's, to a great degree, I think, what did I do to deserve this? You know?
And as the final siren sounded to complete the makeover, there was only one thing left to do.
Whatever we've done it from the heart. 3 cheers for Rubbers.
Hooray! 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 I'd just like to thank everyone for everything they've done. It's just overwhelming. When I left here, I think Darren Chandler and Bernie Conlon and Paul Sherwood came around, is that right? And I said, if you wouldn't mind fixing a couple of doorknobs, and there's a couple of... Now I come back and it's like this. It's just unbelievable. I think we'll buy the place. Very glad to be home. 6 weeks in Melbourne was a long time, and you know, try and get back to some normality and and that'll be lovely now to wake up in a house that's as nice as it is.
Just wonderful, isn't it? Now, Mark's hoping he'll get back to teaching and coaching, so we'll certainly keep you up to date on his journey. And for a full list of those who helped out with the makeover, see our Facebook page, where you'll also find details on how you can help Parkinson's SA.